joining me today. My name is Cal from the University of Calgary. I work as the graduate recruitment student coordinator here, and my role is to help prospective students from Latin America and other parts of the world who are looking to pursue a master's or PhD degree and help them navigate the policy, the admission requirements, and help them connect with prospective supervisors. So I'm very excited that you guys are taking the time today and joining me for the presentation on the University of Calgary. Okay. So welcome to Calgary. So Calgary, if for people who are not aware, we are located in the province of Alberta. We are not the capital city, but we are the largest city in Alberta. We have about 1.4 million people living in Calgary, which makes it the fifth largest city in Canada. You can see we have some beautiful landscapes with the Rocky Mountains to the west and the prairie grasslands to the east of us. We have a very strong economy, and many people from all over the world come here to study, and then also ultimately they want to build a life here, and they ultimately live and work in Calgary. It's not as expensive as some of the bigger cities like Toronto and Vancouver, so it's a very affordable place to live as well. So just recently in this year, Calgary was ranked the fourth most livable city in the world. So when you think of all the great places to live in the whole world, Calgary was ranked number fourth. I think they ranked Vienna as number one, Melbourne as number two, Osaka number three, and then Calgary as number four. So they base the ranking on the healthcare of the city, the infrastructure, the economy, and of course the education. So we are a very highly educated population, and we're Canada's fourth most diverse city. We're also known as the energy capital of Canada, and we have the highest concentration of corporate head offices and small businesses per capita in Canada, which means there's a lot of job opportunities for our students after they graduate. And we're also the sunniest city in Canada, over 330 days a year of sunshine. As you can see at the picture there, that's a wide shot of downtown Calgary. In the back is the Rocky Mountains. About an hour and a half away from us is Banff National Park. It's a beautiful place to go hiking, skiing, and a lot of students on their days off, on the weekends, will go there just to enjoy nature. So if you're ever a student in Calgary, it's a great place to go on your days off. So a little bit about the University of Calgary. We are a member of Canada's U50 Research Intensive University, so we're a top 15 university in Canada. We have 30,000 students on our campus, 24,000 undergrad students, and 6,000 graduate students. And about 1 in 4 of our graduate students are international. We have a very big campus. It's park-like. There's a lot of great greenery and green space for students to enjoy. We're the number 6 research intensive university in Canada, and our degrees are internationally recognized. And 91% of our graduates find employment within 6 months after graduation. And we have a wide range of programs and offices to support our students, and we'll take a look at some of them throughout the presentation. So at the University of Calgary, we want students to succeed, and we put a lot of resources in helping students from the time that they make contact as a prospective student to the time they apply to a program, to when they accept, to when they arrive in Calgary, and throughout their graduate program. We want to provide the services and resources to help students not only succeed in the University of Calgary, but in the city, and ultimately, if they wanted to stay, to build a life here. Okay. We have a very open and very friendly campus. We have different residences for our students, and we'll look at some of that in a second. We have an International Student Service Center. We have a regulated immigration officer on campus. If you have any questions about your visa, about applying as a student visa, about work permits, if you're looking to come here with your family and your husband or wife is looking to come with you, we have immigration officers here that can provide you with advice. And they're usually a lot faster in responding than if you were to reach out to Immigration Canada. Your health and safety is our priority. if you're a student in the University of Calgary, you're automatically enrolled in our Alberta healthcare. Meaning, if you get injured or if you have to go see a doctor or if you have to go to the hospital, there's no cost to you. You're covered under the Alberta healthcare. And as a graduate student, as a full graduate student, you also pay into extended healthcare and dental plan. So if you have to see a pharmacist, a doctor, a chiropractor, optometrist for your eyes, a dentist, you're covered under our graduate student health and dental plan. If you're coming with your family as well, they can have the same coverage as you. And our international center, they hold many, many different types of events throughout the year for international students to meet and mingle. They'll have events for families. They'll take them out to the mountains. Sometimes they'll have potluck dinners at the university. They'll take you guys shopping, bowling. So they want you guys to feel comfortable and to meet new students from Canada, but also from around the world. So we have 14 different faculties at the University of Calgary. We have arts, education, environmental design, which is like architecture, graduate studies, business, kinesiology, law, Cummings School of Medicine, nursing Qatar, our engineering, science, social work, and veterinary medicine. So we're a very comprehensive university. Something that's very unique to the University of Calgary is our professional development program called My Grad Skills. And this is a free resource to all of our graduate students. They provide a lot of different workshops for new students. You know, if you're going to be a teaching assistant, for example, and this is the first time you'll be teaching in front of students, they give you tips, and they put on workshops on how to be an effective teaching assistant. You know, they have career services as well. If you're looking to apply for jobs, they help you with your resume, with your cover letter. They have job posting for students to apply to. And the most important thing is our paid internship. This is something that's very unique to the University of Calgary. So students who are registered as a full-time master's or PhD student have the opportunity to participate in an internship program as part of their degree. Meaning a student in a master's program in their second year or a PhD student in their third year can work at a company for a month up to 6 months, gain valuable work experience, but sometimes the company might give you a salary to work as an intern. But the University of Calgary, we give you a scholarship to intern at this company. So for the time that you're interning, you might get money from the company and you'll get a scholarship from the University of Calgary to work there. A lot of students who've done this internship program have been hired by the company that they work at. So it's a great way for you to start building work experience and a life in Calgary. And that's very unique to the University of Calgary. So some of the exceptional facilities at the University of Calgary, we have the Taylor Family Digital Library, which was opened in 2011. It's North America's most technologically advanced library. It has a wide range of services, both traditional and digital. It's a great place to do group work. They have a lot of state-of-the-art equipment in this library. Another exceptional facility is our Human Performance Laboratory. It's a leader in both basic and applied research related to human, neural, musculoskeletal health and well-being from birth to advanced age. So a lot of companies like Under Armour, Nike, Adidas, when they come up with a new product, for example, a new running shoe, and they want to test how those soles, the shoes, affect the joints of athletes, they'll come in contact with our researchers and they'll test their products on our athletes. And at the University of Calgary, we have athletes that participate in Olympic Games. So it's a great, great facility for people who are studying kinesiology, biomedical engineering, stuff like that. We also have the Hunter Hub for entrepreneurial thinking. This is a new collision space dedicated to help students and faculty who have a business idea. So if you're an entrepreneur and you have an idea to start a business or you have an idea to start a product or service, you can come to this Hunter Hub and they'll provide you with guidance. They provide a lot of free workshops where they'll invite industry leaders and they'll tell you how to write a business plan, how to do coding for smartphones, how to approach banks for loans, and provide you with mentors to help you take your idea and turn it into a successful business. And also, we have a designated graduate student resident, which was opened in 2015. So this is specifically dedicated for students to live. It's only a few minutes from the campus, so it's a great place to live if you want to live on campus. A lot of students choose to live outside of campus. There are a lot of different apartments, shared rooms and homes for students to live as well. So there's a lot of different options for students. If you're coming with a family, if you're coming with your husband or your wife or children, we have dedicated family housing as well. So are you ready for the University of Calgary's graduate studies? So admission requirements for Latin America. So if you're coming from one of these Latin American countries, we'll base your admission on your grade point average. So students from Brazil need a 7 out of 10, Chile 5 out of 7, Mexico 8 out of 10. Someone mentioned Ecuador in the beginning of the webinar. You need a 4-year degree and an 8 out of 10 as your grade point average. Okay, these are just the minimum requirements set out by the Faculty of Graduate Studies. Some programs, especially the medical programs and some engineerings, might have a higher requirement than what you see here. There is, of course, an English language test that you have to meet. We accept Toefl, IBT, IELTS, MELAB, CALDO, PTA, or we also have our own International Foundations program that students can choose to do to help meet the English requirement. But by far the most common ELP test for admission we see is for Toefl or IELTS. So if you're looking to prepare for the Toefl, for the paper-based test, we require a 560. On the internet-based test, it's 86 with no section less than 20. For the IELTS, it's 6.5 with no section less than 6.0. And again, some programs may require a higher requirement than what you see on the screen. Don't accept Cambridge English certificate. I just saw a question there. One second here. So GRE and GMAT, which programs require them? There's only a few programs here that we require a GRE. Computer science is one, clinical psychology, physics and astronomy, and psychology. Any other program that you apply to will not require a GRE. And a GMAT, which is the Graduate Management Aptitude Test, if you're looking to do a Master's in Business Administration, then you would need to do a GMAT. Other than that, there's no additional tests that you have to do. Let's just skip one there. So applying for a program at the University of Calgary, we have 60 graduate programs offering over 100 different types of degrees. For a complete list of programs, you can visit our website on your screen there. The best way to learn more about the program and its requirement is to contact the program directly. You know, you should, most programs will require you to have a supervisor before applying, or to at least have a supervisor in mind when you apply and note who you want to work with in your application. So make sure you review the research areas of professors in the program that you want to apply to, and start making a list of professors you want to work with. And then you can start making contact with the professors you would like to supervise your research. But again, you have to be very specific. You have to tailor your emails and your contact to each professor. So you have to read their journal articles, their publications, and show how excited you are. How does your research align with theirs? I know a lot of students have told us, how do I even start to find a supervisor? They look on the website, they don't know who's accepting students. Sometimes they'll email a professor and it'll be a week, 2 weeks, and they don't hear back. So what we've done at the University of Calgary is we've made it easier for students to find which professors are looking for students and how to contact them. If you go onto our website and you look at the list of graduate programs, you can click on the program that you're interested in. And within that program, if you scroll down to the bottom, will list professors who are seeking students and what their area of research is. So this one is an example from the Chemical and Petroleum Engineering page. You can see there are about 12 professors, only 6 of them here are shown, who are accepting students, what their research is. Once you find one that you're interested in, you can click on their name and there's a contact form. On the contact form, they'll ask you to describe yourself. If you have any awards or any publications you can highlight. It'll ask you why you want to work with this professor and what is it about this program that interests you and additional information. So this is your chance to really differentiate yourself, to highlight your qualifications, your awards, your publication, and make yourself stand out. So the application and admission process. So once you find a program that you're interested in, the application is all done online. You have to create an EID, which is a username. Once you have that, you can log in to an application. The application fee is $145 for international students. You can apply to more than one program if you want, but you would have to pay the application fee for each program that you apply to. Okay. After you submit your online application, you will receive within 24 hours an email from us with instructions on how to upload your supporting documents. And this email will also include your 7-digit student ID number. And once you have uploaded all your required documents and your referees have completed the reference forms, your application is complete and ready to review. So some of the different types of documents you will require when you are applying to a program. Some programs will ask you to provide a CV. Of course, you will need your university transcripts and of course the translations if your university does not provide English translations. If you're in your last year of study, you can upload your unofficial transcripts, your current transcripts for the program to evaluate. They'll look at your last 2 years, and if they offer you admission, it will be conditional upon you sending your final official transcripts from your university to that program. Some programs will require a statement of research, and you'll need to provide names and email addresses of your referees. Some departments have additional requirements. Some of the arts programs, architectural programs, for example, might ask you for a portfolio of your work, samples of your work. For your references, you just need to provide their email address. So once you provide their email address and you submit your application, your referees will be sent a secure email where they'll click and they'll be brought to a reference form. This is their opportunity to provide the reference for you. Okay. So once your application has been submitted, each program has their own evaluation committee and procedures. Typically, they have an evaluation committee where your file is passed around to different evaluators and they rank students' applications. Once the decision is made by the program to offer admission, you'll be sent an admission letter. Sometimes it might be 2 months after the application deadline. Sometimes it could take up to 4 months before you hear anything back from the program. But you can always check the status of your application through your student center. They'll tell you where your application is sitting with the program, if there's any outstanding documents that are missing, and stuff like that. So tips on submitting an application. Read the eligibility requirements of the program before you apply. Some programs have a lot more requirement for documents, higher GPA requirements, higher TOEFL or IELTS requirements. So make sure you meet those requirements. These programs that have higher requirements are very competitive. So they will probably not accept your application if you don't meet their admission requirements. For example, a program might ask for an IELTS of 7 with no section less than 6. If one of your section is 5.5, they may not accept your application. So make sure you understand what the requirements are, you meet it. If you have any questions, you can email me. I'll give you my email at the end, and then we can help you out with that. So choose the right references. Ask your professors for an excellent recommendation and let them know that you're applying to the University of Calgary so they're not surprised when they get an email from us. Also, provide a strong statement of interest. Make sure that it's personal and well thought out. Think about, why do you want to go to graduate school? What do you want to do your degree? What is it about this program or this professor's research that interests you? Show your excitement, okay? And highlight your academic and professional achievements. Have all your supporting documents, CVs, ready to upload. I'm just kind of reading some questions as I go through. Yeah, they will have to provide, your referees will have to provide their references in English, their reference form that they have to fill out. Normally, they will ask for academic references, but if you've been out of school for a long time, for maybe 3 or 4 years, then the program will accept one professional reference, but they will at least require one academic reference. So awards. International students are eligible to apply for many of the awards administered through the University of Calgary. These awards are competitive and based on scholastic achievement, meaning it's based on your grade point average. Okay, so it's important to read the eligibility requirements and follow the application instructions for each award that you apply for. Once you submit your application and you get your student ID number, this is when you can start applying for awards. You don't have to be accepted to a program before applying for awards. If you go into our awards page, you can search through the award database by your degree, your program, to see what awards are available for you. And then you can check what the admission requirements, the award requirements are, what the deadline is, and how much it's worth. Also, our programs offer guaranteed funding to their students for the thesis-based programs, meaning each program, if they accept you into the program, will provide you with a minimum amount of funding defined by what the program is. This funding is guaranteed, so it's in the form of being a teaching assistant, a research assistant. It might come from the program or your supervisor. This funding is enough to cover your tuition, but then you'll still apply for different awards, or you can work off campus up to 20 hours a week to help pay for some of the additional living expenses. But what's really cool is the University of Calgary has partnerships with different funding agencies in the countries that you're living in. So if you're from Brazil, we have partnerships with CAPES, Mexico, CONACYT, Colombia, Caliances, Chile, CONACYT, Ecuador, CENSACYT, and Paraguay, Peru, and Uruguay. So if you're from one of these countries, we really encourage you to apply with one of these funding agencies from your home country. A lot of our professors are looking for funded students to come with their own money. And if you mention in your communication to these professors that you will be applying for CONACYT funding, for example, or CAPES funding, then they will be more willing to accept you conditional on that you get the funding. We've put together a list of about 90 to 100 professors at the University of Calgary who are seeking funded students from these countries. We identify who the professor is, what their program is, what their research is, and link to their research website. If you're interested in receiving this Excel spreadsheet of professors looking for funded students, please email me, or my email will be at the end of the presentation, and I'll send you a copy of our Excel spreadsheet with a list of professors who are seeking funded students. So some of the more popular programs at the University of Calgary, computer science is very competitive. Um, they focus on innovation, entrepreneurship, and creativity. They have strengths in data science, security, privacy. You can learn from experts and researchers in a team environment. And we have research groups and labs that attract talented faculty members. So it's a great place for students to come and study computer science. Our geology and geophysics program is very popular amongst international students. It's a strong focus on essential skills to prepare you for your professional career. You take courses in areas like petroleum geology, bison analysis, sequence stratigraphy, hydrology. We have the largest Canadian collection of core samples, as well as access to provincial collections. Because Calgary is the energy capital of Canada, geology and geophysics is a great program to study. Also, our engineering programs. We're one of the top engineering schools in Canada with strong focus on entrepreneurship, innovation, and engineering excellence. We have over 100,000 square feet of cutting-edge labs, classroom, and learning spaces. We have acclaimed professors, great researchers, and we're the engineering capital of Canada. Because we have so many head offices in Canada, there's a lot of opportunities and a lot of engineering jobs in Calgary. You gain open access to academic skills, training workshops. You benefit from our strong ties with the industry. We receive over 30 million in engineering research funding each year. So some of the programs that we offer, I know it's kind of blurry, is chemical and petroleum engineering, civil engineering, electrical computer engineering, geomatics, mechanical and manufacturing, biomedical engineering. So civil engineering, one of the top engineering programs in the world, based on QS ranking. Civil engineering students learn from some of the most creative and innovative researchers in Canada. Some of the core specializations you can see there, structural engineering, all the way to group design projects. Again, oil and gas, chemical and petroleum engineering is one of the best places for students to study. We're internationally recognized for our education and research excellence in chemical and petroleum engineering. We have global experts with industry partners and strong international research collaborations. We have very strong ties with the government in Mexico to conduct research in the energy sector. Okay, and there's a lot of opportunities for students to get into the oil and gas industry after they complete their degree in chemical and petroleum engineering. Our medical programs, we have a teaching and learning hospital at the University of Calgary with state-of-the-art resources, labs, and students can study biochemistry, molecular biology, biomedical technology, community health, cardiovascular respiratory science, gastronomical science, immunology, microbiology, infectious diseases, neuroscience. You can become a pathologist assistant, and medical sciences. And within all these programs are different specializations in area of studies like public health, immunology, a lot of different areas of studies for students interested in a medical degree in a master's or PhD level. Our physics and astronomy is a very strong program. They have expert researchers. Astrophysics students benefit from access to the Rothny Astrophysics Observatory in the dark sky region of Alberta. We have strong emphasis on developing computation and research skills to give you a unique creation. Our Faculty of Arts as well, which is our largest faculty with more than 50 graduate programs, 20 comprehensive graduate programs. It's a strong focus on experiential learning, and you explore complex situations facing society. Oops. Sorry. And of course, our Haskell School of Business for students interested in pursuing an MBA. They're internationally accredited. They're ranked in the 20 best business schools in Canada. They specialize in entrepreneurial, innovation, leadership, sustainability, finance, marketing as well. So again, why should you study at the University of Calgary? U Calgary is highly ranked, recognized educational leaders in Canada and abroad with a global orientation. We have competitive financial conditions and our commitment to your success. You know, we put a lot of resources in helping students come to the University of Calgary and also ensuring that they have a successful and enjoyable time while they're a student and prepare them for when they want to join the workforce. So applications are now open for fall 2019 admission. Most of the deadlines are coming up in January. January 15th is usually the deadline for engineering programs. Some programs have a February 1st deadline, but applications are now open for admission into the fall 2019 semesters. Okay. So we look forward to having you join the University of Calgary family. My email is future.grad@ucalgary.ca. If you're interested in receiving the list of professors who are seeking funded students from your home country, please send an email there requesting that, and I'll send you the Excel spreadsheet, and you can sort of contact the professors directly. You can CC me in if you want to, and help you connect with supervisors. With that, thank you for your time. I think now we'll open it up to some questions. I'll have to scroll up, or maybe if Paulo is there, if there were any questions that you can read out, and because I kind of lost track through the presentation, and I'll try to answer the best as I can. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Calvin. Well, the questions are spread out through the chat box, so I don't think there's a particular one that I think stands out. Eventually, there aren't that many at this point. I think that the first one that I see is the one that someone from Ecuador is asking if Calgary accepts applications from Ecuador. But what I would probably suggest, Calvin, is based on the questions that are being asked, just see which are the ones that you feel comfortable asking, or eventually you need more information and you will get back to the person afterwards. We will provide you with the contacts of everyone that registered. So I would leave it up to you to decide which questions you feel comfortable answering during this webinar.
Sure. Let me just scroll up to the questions here. I know there was a question regarding postdoc. Postdocs positions are handled differently from a graduate program. Postdocs are usually positions offered by the professor. So you would have to contact the professor or the program that you're interested in, and they'll let you know if there are any postdoc positions available, because with a postdoc, you're working for a professor. You're getting a salary from the professor, and it's not related to a graduate degree at all. But if you need any more information, please email me at future.grad@ucalgary.ca, and I'll pass you on to our postdoc office, and they'll be able to provide you with information on how to come as a postdoc. Okay, let me see. The cost of living in Calgary, we recommend students to have about 1,100 Canadian dollars. I'll just type that in here for living expenses. So that's how much you need for living expenses. If you're looking to rent an apartment outside of the university, you would probably pay about 500 to 600 a month, and that will leave you with 500 for food and entertainment. But if you come knowing that you need about 1,000 to 1,100, then you should be okay. Again, students coming to the University of Calgary and Canada have the opportunity to work up to 20 hours a week outside the university, so you can work and get additional income. Our minimum wage in in Calgary is one of the highest in Canada. It's $15 an hour for any position. So you can work up to 20 hours a week at $15 an hour. Someone asked about supervisors. Again, we've made it very easy for students to identify which professors are seeking students. If you go onto the Future website, click on the program that you're interested in, it'll list professors who are seeking students, what their research area is, and also if you're going to apply with Conacyt funding or funding from home government, let us know. We'll send you a list of professors who are seeking funded students as well. So we have some questions about program-specific questions. For example, engineering or different programs. If you look on the website, the engineering programs will list what their requirements are. Most engineering programs will require students in a thesis-based program to have a supervisor agree to accept them as a student before they even apply. So before you can even apply for an engineering program in electrical and computer engineering, mechanical engineering, chemical, petroleum, or civil, you need to find a supervisor first. So that is your first step, is to look online and see what you want to do, who do you want to work with, and start reading some of their publications, start reading some of the journals, and then compiling your email and correspondence to make it individualized and make it so that you stand out and that they're interested in having you. These professors receive lots and lots of emails every day, so they can tell if a student has put some thought into the email. If your email has different colors, they know it's been copy and paste, so they'll delete it right away. So don't try to make it too general, okay? If your email is bold in some places and not bold in other places, they know that it's not personalized. So make sure that before you send it, the font's all consistent. You've addressed the professor by their name, and you're not copying and pasting different messages. Okay. So some people are asking about the English requirement. If you have completed a degree, a four-year degree, for example, in a institution where the language taught was in English, the program can waive the English requirement for you. But this is up to the program, so it's best to make that request to the program that you're applying to. I had some questions about fees as well. If you're in a master's program, your first year is about 14,500 Canadian. This is made up of tuition and student fees. In your second year, it's about half of that. It's about 6,000 Canadian. In your first year as a master's student, you're taking courses. In your second year as a master's student, you're just doing research. So you're not paying for any course fees. That's why it's a bit lower in your second year. So we don't have admission conditional upon completing an English requirement, unfortunately. You have to meet the IELTS or the Toefl requirement before you apply. Okay. One second. Someone is asking about PhD programs in genetics. Does University of Calgary have one? It would be under one of the medical programs as an area of study or specialization. We do have one. You can email me at future.grad@ucalgary.ca, and I'll be able to provide you with more information on that. Mhm. Uh, So students in their last year, we had a question about if they can apply in their last year. Yes, a lot of students, this is very common, will apply in their last year of their study. So if you're graduating in May, June, July, August of next year, you can start to apply for a program now, starting in September 2019. You'll just upload what transcripts you have. The program will evaluate it. If they offer you admission, it will say conditional upon receiving your final transcripts showing your degree has been awarded. So yes, you can apply in your final year. And now is the time to do it as the applications are open and they'll be closing in a few months. Okay. See, the application deadlines vary from program to program. It's best to check on the website and to click the program that you're interested in, see what their deadline is. So TOEFL score, we have an institutional code at the University of Calgary that you will enter, and the TOEFL score will be sent to us. If you're doing IELTS, you can upload your results as a supporting document to your application, and then we can use that reference number to check with IELTS to confirm that you did indeed achieve that score. Someone asked about working in Canada after they complete a master's program. You can apply for a work permit after you complete a master's or PhD program here. The length of your work permit, I think, depends on your degree, but we've had many students who have completed a master's and or PhD program apply for a work permit. After that, they apply for a permanent residency, and then they live in Calgary and build a life here. Yes, all thesis-based are programs full-time, someone asked. Yes, all thesis-based programs are full-time. Um, you're expected to work about 40 hours a week on your degree, and then anything else you do outside, you can work at a coffee shop, whatever. That being said, there are a lot of opportunities for students as well to take vacation. As a graduate student, you are entitled to vacation holiday as well, so you're not working the whole year. When the university is closed for holidays, for example, this holiday Christmas break, we're closed for 10 days, you'll have time off. We have students to do leave of absences, meaning if you get sick or if you get pregnant or if you have some emergency situations back home, you can pause your program, handle what you need to handle for a month up to a year, and come back into your program. But yep, there's opportunities for students to take a little break. You talked about the paid internship. Yeah, that's part of the My Grad Skills, and it's a great opportunity for students to gain valuable work experience, but also get paid a scholarship by the University of Calgary and the company to work there. If you type in Spanish, that's fine. Paulo can translate. Yes, if you're going to participate in the internship program for a master's student, it's in your second year. PhD students usually in their third year. Let's see. Someone asked if they can come to U Calgary for a short period. Yes, you can. We have something called the Visiting Student Research Program. So if you are currently registered in a master's program or in a PhD program, you can come to the University of Calgary and work in one of our professors' laboratories as a visiting student. You can stay for 1 month up to a year, working with a professor, conducting research here, and then you can go back to your home university and complete your degree. There's no tuition assessed for these types of programs, but you are responsible for your own living costs and getting here, as there's no funding for visiting students. So someone asked, I'm an undergraduate student. If I do an investigation research stay, I will get my degree. Is there any specific program that can be related to my situation? If you're an undergraduate student now, there's a program called ELAP. There's Emerging Leaders Americas. Uh, you can contact CALDO for more information, but it's an opportunity for students to come and do research with our university. There's also MyTax. Global Links is another way that you can come as an undergraduate student and conduct research with one of our professors. And then after that, you can come back as a master's or PhD student. Someone asked, what golden tips would you give to contact potential supervisors? Again, it's making yourself stand out and being very unique in your approach. Mention that you've read their articles, you've read their journals, how that their research aligns with yours, what you want to do in your research, uh, and how the program is something that you want to do. And also, if you're applying with one of the funding agencies in your home country, highlight as well, because a lot of professors are looking for funded students. So someone asked, do we have a diploma in information security? We have that one. I don't know. We have different diplomas in like data analytics, data science, information security. We might not have a diploma program in that. I know our computer science program offers research in that area, but I would have to check on that for you. If you email me, I can definitely get back to you. Can I apply for MEng programs? Uh, Yes, the MEng course-based programs are professional programs. These programs do not offer any funding to students, however. So if you're looking to apply to an MEng program, you would have to think, how are you going to fund your program? Because there are no funding for this, and there are very limited scholarships available. Someone asked, during my second year, can I jump to a PhD directly? So most programs, not most, some programs may allow a student who started off in a master's program to transfer to a PhD after 1 year. This will depend on your supervisor and if he or she feels that your research is that of a PhD level. They can recommend that you transfer to a PhD and then you would go through the whole approval process. But yes, it's very possible to move into a data science. We have it as a diploma program. Someone asked, can I study a computer science master if I study civil engineering? I make contact with some data analytics and RPA projects. So with computer science, it's a very technical degree. They do require students to have sort of a bachelor's degree in computer science, and they also highlight some of the courses that you should have taken in your undergraduate program. If you've taken some of these courses, definitely reach out to the computer science program as they might be able to accept you. Yeah, there. Someone asked about program interested in working with big data. Yeah, we have data analysis. What is it called? Data analytics is something that we have that works with big data, I think. Someone asked, can I ask for a student loan in Canada if I'm from Latin America? I don't think so. Uh, I don't think you would qualify. I think you have to be a permanent resident or Canadian citizen to apply for a Canadian or Alberta student loan, unfortunately. But depending on which country you are applying from, some of the countries, for example, in Mexico, they have agencies that loan students money to come study here. Someone asked, if I'm taking a PhD program and going with my family, can my children study in public schools in Canada? Yes. So if you come as a PhD student, your wife or your husband will come as on a spousal visa. And with a spousal visa, they can work 40 hours a week anywhere. And your children will be able to attend public schools in Calgary. And we have fantastic public schools in Canada and in Calgary as well. So it's not an issue. We have many, many families coming to Calgary to study. Their kids go to school here and they love it. It's a great environment. Everybody's very friendly. It's a very multicultural society, very safe and great education for children. Do you have PhD programs related to rural sociology, mainly about food and security, nutrition, health, diet, and habits? We might. If you're in Mexico, whoever asked that question, we have a professor at the University. He is a University of Calgary professor. His degree is in sociology. He will be able to help you out more if you're interested in sociology. He will be able to introduce you to professors, research. So if you're interested in connecting with our professor in Mexico, please send me an email and I'll make the introduction. Okay. So, someone asked, visiting master's students are able to work a part-time job? I don't know. That is something that you will have to check with Immigration Canada. Normally, it's for full-time students, and usually on your student visa, it'll outline what you're able to do. As a part-time visiting student, I don't know. That's something that we would have to discuss with Immigration Canada. Someone asked, so I start the PhD paying the tuition and then I can get that amount refunded after? If you are coming with funding from CONICET or CAPIS or one of the partner agencies that we work with, they will pay the tuition for you. We will invoice the sponsors and they pay for you. But if you're an international student, most of the programs offer a tuition differential rebate, meaning they'll give you back a portion of your tuition to try to make your tuition close to what a permanent resident or Canadian citizen would pay. Most course, do you need a supervisor if you want to do a course-based program? No. Course-based programs do not require a supervisor. You're just doing courses and that's it. Someone asked, do I have to get a supervisor before applying? Or can I get it until the semester starts? It depends on the program. Engineering programs, medical programs require students to have a supervisor before applying. Other programs would like you to identify who you want to work with in your application. And sometimes other programs will wait a semester and then assign you a supervisor. But if you're looking for engineering, medical programs, definitely need a supervisor before you apply. Someone asked, does the University of Calgary help students get the internship with a company? How does it work? So the way it works is students in the master's or PhD program in their second year as a master's or the third year of the PhD, they are responsible for looking for a company that they want to work at. the student will make contact with the company. We have email templates explaining what the internship program is, how it can benefit the company, and it's up to the student to make the contact with the company. And if the company hires them, then we give them the scholarship to work there. And sometimes the company will give them money to work there. So we help you in the sense that we provide you with information to provide to the company to let them know what the internship program is, how hiring a graduate student can benefit their company. And at the Career Service Center, they also have a lot of resources for students looking for jobs, and they have a lot of connections to the industry. So if you have a hard time connecting with companies, you can visit them, and they will give you tips, and they might even recommend some companies that you can apply to. What is the average time for MA programs? It will be about 2 years, and that's the same for a master's thesis-based program as well. Okay. So someone asked, do I need to attach my CV, personal statement, or just write a short email indicating my research interest when I contact a potential supervisor? That's a great question. You can having your personal statement is key. If you've done an IELTS or a TOEFL, that as well. Sometimes they might not have time to look at your transcripts and your CV. Yes, you can include that as well. I would recommend before you reach out to the supervisor to read their proposal, their journal articles, applications, and tailoring it to them. If you're applying for a funding from your home university, you can contact me first. I can have a look at your documents. I can have a look at your CV, your transcripts to make sure that you meet the program requirements, and then I can email the professor for you. That's for students who are going to apply for funding from their home university. So that's a service that the University of Calgary and myself do for students in Latin America. If you're looking for a professor and for a way to contact them, you can reach out to me, send me your document, let me know which country you're applying from, which funding agency you will be applying for, and then I can help you connect with supervisors. Okay? For math and stats course-based program, yes, we do have a course-based program in math and stats. What are the highlights of nursing research at the University of Calgary? There are many top-notch researchers in the nursing field. If you go on to the future graduate student website and you click the nursing graduate program, you'll see a list of professors and what they're working on. And some of it is just unbelievable. If I apply for an MH program, can I get an internship? Yes, it's open to thesis-based and course-based program students. You have to be a regular master's student to participate in this program, or a PhD student. You cannot be a visiting student and participate in the internship program.
So Calvin, just a heads up that our time is almost finishing, and I would just like to mention the question that Juan Carlos has asked. He wrote in Spanish. So he's asking if the research that he's interested is related to chemistry, electronics, programming, and neurobiology, which departments should he apply to? He mentioned that he mentions if this would be a sort of an interdisciplinary project that he would be involved if he wants to do research that is cross-sectional to different areas.
Yeah, we do offer interdisciplinary programs. Biomedical engineering, for example, students work a lot with computer science students, work a lot with students in neuroscience, in mechanical engineering. So yeah, there are a lot of different opportunities for students who want to do an interdisciplinary program. The key is that the degrees have to be similar. So if you're looking for chemistry and what was the other one? Chemistry and
So it's chemistry, electronic, programming, neurobiology.
yeah, so if you're looking for chemistry and neurobiology, for example, they have to be the same program, meaning it has to be like a Master of Science with a Master of Science. It can't be like a Master of Arts program, interdisciplinary with a Master of Science. So both programs in chemistry and the ones that you mentioned offer a Master of Science. What usually happens is you apply to one program, for example, chemistry, and then you would have to look for maybe a professor in neuroscience or wherever who will accept you as a student as well. And then we can combine your degree with chemistry and, for example, neuroscience under an interdisciplinary program. So you will have a supervisor in chemistry, but then a co-supervisor in another program for the different degree.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that answers his question. So, Calvin, we only have 1 minute left. I don't know if there's anything else that you would like to add in regards to the questions or the presentation. So go ahead, please.
Yeah, definitely. I know applying to a graduate program is a big decision, and contacting a supervisor, sometimes students don't know where to start. So if you have any questions about admission requirements, if you're having difficulties contacting a supervisor, or you don't even know which program you want to take, please email me at future.grad@ucalgary.ca, and I'll try to my best to guide you and to connect you with supervisors. Again, if you're interested in receiving a list of our professors who are seeking funded students, please send me an email and I'll send you that Excel spreadsheet for you to take a look at to see if there's a professor that's interesting that you want to work with.
Okay, thank you so much, Calvin, and thank you to everyone that took the time to participate in today's webinar. So this week on Thursday, at the same time, we have the presentation from the University of Toronto. So if you're interested, please register for the webinar, and it will be very similar to today's presentation. So this presentation will be available in our YouTube channel after tomorrow. And to everyone that registered, we will send you the link and some additional information on CALDO resources that can be helpful to assist you in applying to graduate studies. So thank you so much, Calvin. And
thank you, everybody.
We will see you in the next opportunity, in the next webinar. Thank you so much. Take care.
Take care. Good evening. Bye-bye.